Okay, guys, let's discuss a few things here today. Uh, when I'm looking at urine tests and you're having some mental issues, I don't mean you're going to the psychiatrist. Maybe you're just having some brain fog, forgetfulness, where are my car keys, maybe having trouble remembering some names. This is the beginning of early dementia. Now, when you think this is an old person's disease, let me tell you, I've got 16, 17, 18-year-old kids that are already having memory issues in school. Now, when you say memory, it's not always just forgetting things, but also think of ADHD, ADD, these type of clinical things that's been diagnosed to people these days. There's many things that are sitting here right in front of us that we're not paying attention to. We're getting the signs already that is more than just a brain disease. I want to show you briefly a little chart of some things to look for when I'm looking at brain disorders, because you will learn quickly, if you've not seen any of my other videos, that if your brain is having any kind of malfunction as a kid, like autism with children, to young adults, till the older age people. And so with that, you're going to see it's in the gut. You all hear about the gut. I've been talking about it for, I don't know, 20 plus years. Please pay attention to your gut, and you're going to find out what is going on with someone's brain. You have the elderly, like my mother. I'm always checking if she has a brain dysfunction going on, something she's having trouble remembering names. It's the gut. I always ask about what she's been eating. Has she been detoxing her colon, any of her liver? And you're always going to find that she's just getting toxic in. When you get toxic, you get dysfunction in your gut. All right. Now, what does this look like on the test? I'm going to show you here quickly. When you're looking at a test, there's very simple tests. And I even did some writing on here for you guys. I'm going to blow this up really big if I can for you. All right. Look at this right here, yeast and fungal connections. You see my writing, yeast and fungal, OCD disorder, just having too much yeast in the body. Look at these, arabinose. This is candida, yeast infections. It blocks your vitamins. This is the beginning of over here. It says biofilm, that mucus buildup in the body, which is the home of yeast and mold. Also, you'll see metal accumulation, lung problems, people getting congestion, bronchitis, pneumonia. This is always going to go back to the yeast thing we've talked about before. But today, what I want to focus on, I want you to look right here where it says Clostridia bacteria. So my main talk today is going to be Clostridia bacteria. What is this doing to the body? Clostridia bacteria is acute schizophrenia symptoms will show up. OCD, constipation, diarrhea, ADD, ADHD, any kind of mental depression disorder that begins, whether you're younger, middle age, or older, you have to look at the gut. When I say the gut, look right here where it says C. difficile. Okay, see this one of the Clostridia, but this one has got a marker of its own to show when it goes high. But when you see several of them going high, like on this test here, see this patient here, you can almost bet they're having some kind of mental issue. And what happens is we end up going to the, like I said, the psychiatrist, psychologist, but the psychiatrist is the MD version that will give you medications. So they're going to chemically treat you for something that's going on with your gut. This does not fix the problem. This is simply a Band-Aid. So what else you look at here is here. Look at the neurotransmitters. Okay, this is the hormones in the brain. This is dopamine. This has to do with norepinephrine, epinephrine, which are your adrenal glands for energy. Quinolinic acid is something else we'll talk about. But when you see your dopamine levels going high, this is called dopamine, as I wrote it here, dopamine toxicity. Okay, too high. It is a vagus nerve, the nerve that goes down to the stomach that links you to your brain. There is a link between your stomach and your brain. This is a gut issue, as I say again. You'll see glutathione over here, if you can read my chicken scratch over here. The glutathione levels are plummeting, which means your liver function is not working well. So what happens to this for this Clostridia bacteria getting too high in the gut? It leads to sympathetic nerve damage. Sympathetic, which means you're going to damage your nervous system of how you think, how you walk, how you talk, right? So quinolinic acid, number 37 here, low lithium. Okay, you have me, I mentioned some other things here, but low lithium is the mineral that you need in your body to help calm you. When you see quinolinic acid, you see it get high levels in here. This is the mold spores getting to your brain. This shows you that the Clostridia bacteria have done their damage, and pretty much C. difficile, the one I mentioned earlier, is the one that's causing the damage. So, guys, that's a brief look into what's happening to your gut. This is nationwide. We have patients from coast to coast, north and south. They're all having the same issue. You're going to find tons of bacteria. You're going to find the yeast and mold. You're going to find all these things going on in the gut. Even in the very beginning stages of seeing just a little bit of this Clostridia, you're beginning to have forgetfulness and fogginess. That is the first sign. And if you do not do something about this, I've seen patients from today to 8 months into the future, and they cannot even remember their own name. So it doesn't come just slowly. This is happening fast to people. I mentioned to you the other day about the yeast, how the yeast now has viper venom in the yeast, right? So now our yeast is now the brewer's yeast. It's in our foods, the animals' foods, your beer, your wine. It's in everything. It has venom. We're talking viper venom that affects your neurological system. So it's not just these bacteria. Now your food is being directly poisoned to cause these issues. Now, I'm the bringer of the bad news, but I'm also bringer of what? The solutions. I never tell you things about this online when you guys are watching my videos that I do not know how to deal with. And so any of these symptoms you're having, get tested, get this organic acid test. This test here is a very thorough test. Maybe just once a year instead of a blood test, get a urine test. It's going to tell you much more information than the others. And then when you see this test and you see any of these signs, you need to get busy doing the protocols I'm going to show you. It is not difficult to fix this, guys. You can reverse this. But if you let yourself or your mother or your father or your grandparents saying, well, they're just getting old, we're going to let them just die when they get older, right? Well, I like to let people have a healthy older life, like my mother. So you guys can do the same. And if they're having difficulty with the brain, do some mild cleansing with the gut, like I'm going to show you, and they will get their brain back. If not, when that brain goes goodbye, it gets to a certain point, it's very difficult to bring it back. So guys, to talk today is Clostridia bacteria. Read about it online, look up C. difficile, and you look how it affects your neural transmitters in your brain. I'm Dr. Patrick Price. Let's fix your gut, guys. Have a great day.